Hey guys, I'm Kobna,
And I'm Lux.
and today we are playing Divinity.
Original Sin.
Original Sin, and we thought we would give our opinions on the game since we've played quite a lot of it.
Yeah, 50 hours or so.
50 hours or so, and since the next game in the series is
It's planned to release in this
set
year.
to release within this year, we thought we might focus on the first game and the faults and the good
the
things,
pros and cons,
basically, and what we would like to see in an upcoming.
Just a note to the viewers: this is a semi-podcast-like video, so if you want to check out the gameplay, you can look at the video, or else just tab out and do something else and listen to our opinions.
Yeah, we will be talking, but we will also be reacting because we are playing whilst talking.
Yeah, might scream a bit.
So if you hear Lux scream once or twice, don't be alarmed.
There's a quite good chance that will happen.
Yeah, but we actually, just after turning into the game, ran into I think it's an orc pack.
Yeah, they had some prisoners I saw.
They have prisoners and they are talking about how much blood there's in my body.
Yeah.
So I reckon that when I end this conversation, we're gonna enter into a fight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's start talking about the game then.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, it's turn-based, the fighting style at least, which is very much like other games, like it says Heroes and Civilization.
Yeah, but
like
on a much smaller scale.
On a much smaller scale, it's like you get, as you can see, just below the cancel. There's like red and green dots, which they represent action points. You have a certain amount of those every turn, and your skills, the skills you
uses up
you want to
action
use,
points.
takes the action points from. The better the skill, the more action points it takes.
One eternity later.
Yeah, Lux is being his usual self and taking forever with attacking.
Relax. We're actually here to talk about the game. There is a bit of explaining of the basic. Oh, that's not good. But no, we're here to talk about what we think about the game.
Yeah.
And I like it quite a bit.
You like it quite a bit. You're very into the whole thing.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. But I am too, in the sense that it's of course it's very roleplay like. It's got a lot of stories which I really enjoy. There's a lot of. One of the first missions we got was to retrieve a neckband for a cat.
Yeah, that's Singing Sam.
Singing Sam. So he could present it to his girlfriend.
Yeah, Maxine, I think.
That would then I think marry.
Yeah. She was the mayor's cat.
Yeah.
So she had, she needed to be wooed.
Yeah, she needed a man with bling. and yeah, so there's a lot of story, which is really great, which I love too. The only problem I have with it is
the combat. Yeah.
It's turn-based, and at some parts during the game you can enter into a lot of combats very often. And it gets very repetitive. And other times there's no combat for hours, which is what I love, which is why I have clocked 50 hours on it.
Yeah, so there is a lot to this game. It's the reason I really like it is because it's such an role-playing experience.
It really is.
I haven't had this experience for a while. The last time I think was when the first time I played World of Warcraft or something like Skyrim. Skyrim's a good one too.
You also have quite a lot of hours.
Yeah. But this game, it's just.
How did he get so much life?
He used a potion.
Fuck off. Sorry.
The good thing about this is there's a lot of customization. You can make the character just as you want.
Yeah.
And there really is a lot of detail. We're also playing on the PlayStation 4, which is the enhanced edition.
Yeah.
Originally, I think the game was released without any voice acting, which they then added in the enhanced edition.
And it was first released on computer.
Yeah, on PC.
Can I set fire to this guy?
But like Kobna said, there is some cons, but they're not a major problem for me. I think one of the faults we may have done in this game is the fact that we put it on this difficulty. The game was quite hard at the start, but what do you say? Later it has become quite easy in the combat. But you know, I think it's quite fun. I like this tactical kind of combat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of what do you call it, environmental effects and such.
Yeah, and unless it's against like these basic mobs, the combat can also be quite difficult.
It can. Bosses are extremely hard.
Bosses can be extremely difficult and extremely annoying to play against.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's coming for me! No!
It's set in a fantasy world.
A very, what do you call it?
High fantasy.
Yeah, and also very, like we talked about earlier, there's a lot of lore and a lot of history and such.
Yeah, in that sense, the game is very deep. I mean, there's kingdoms, there's kings.
Yeah, you're quite, what do you call it, confused at the start of the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of names you need to get to know.
Yeah.
But it's also a great way to immerse yourself in the game, and that's also what I really like about a game. Is where first of all there's open world, you can walk wherever you want, sort of. I mean, it's not a linear quest line.
Yeah, you take your own. There is a main story.
There's a main story to follow, but I mean, you can probably use, I would say, at least 50 hours on the
on the side
quests.
missions and such. Yeah, that's true.
So they've made a complete game.
Yeah,
There's no
I
doubt
would
about
say
that.
more than the standards of complete nowadays.
Yeah, it's really.
Comparing it to Skyrim. Skyrim was a fun game where people thought that the main story wasn't that intriguing,
Yeah.
but the side missions were fantastic. It's kind of the same here. When we started the game, we walked into a village where we were told we had to solve a murder.
Yeah.
And it took us about 4 hours to find out who did it. Because there wasn't any hand-holding.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the other things, that this game doesn't give handouts.
No.
You aren't. I mean, you're told that you need to find a key to get into a house in order to investigate the house.
But which house? You
But
don't
which
know.
house? And where do you find the key? You get maybe you get a hint that it's on some beach or
You get a hint from the
water.
quest log.
Yeah. But I mean, if you just take a look at the map, this is the wrong map to show it on.
Yeah, this is one of the smaller maps, but the former map was quite big.
Yeah, and there was an ocean right by. So saying that it was by water, the key might be laid by water, was like, okay, thanks for the help.
Yeah, it wasn't much help.
Yeah. So it takes time figuring out just what to do.
Yeah, that might be one of the, what you call it, cons or one of the.
that can be quite tedious.
It's hard to get into the game at the start, right? I'm still gonna talk, and you can follow the story while Kobna is talking with the people. I played with some other friends other than Kobna, and he is the kind of guy that really likes action games. That's true, but he had a really hard time getting into the game. He was just playing for an hour, and there had only been 1 or 2 combats.
Talk about me?
No, another friend.
Another friend. Sorry.
Yeah. You didn't hear that, but I said it. And he had a really hard time getting into it. I, at first glance, just thought the game was amazing. And got, what do you call it, reeled in really quickly. That might be one of the hard things about this game, that you have to have a certain... You need to really love RPGs.
Yeah.
And you need to love a game filled with story and lore for this game to work.
Yeah. There's a hidden entry here, but I can't get into it, and this pisses me off.
Perhaps we should mention the reasons you think people should or shouldn't buy this game.
I mean, this game, Divinity Original Sin.
The first one in the original Sin franchise.
Yeah, we got it quite cheap. I don't know if it's that cheap anymore.
I think you can still get it quite cheap, but we bought it for about $20 or something.
Okay, so not
cheap.
Cheap. A cheap game. It's also,
it's a big game.
It's a big game. I mean, we've got like 50, maybe
50, 60, I think.
hours, and we're like, I mean, maybe, we feel like we're maybe nearing
the end.
The end.
But perhaps another 10 or 20 hours. And also, the game is awesome in co-op. If you have a friend, this is a perfect game to play.
This is the one of the best couch co-op games there is right now.
On the PlayStation, it gives you can see on the top of the screen it says full split screen, which is really amazing. Me and Kobna, we can just walk to the opposite parts of the world.
Yeah, we can also, if I just do that, then same.
Yeah, and if we walk too far apart, it splits.
It does it by itself,
Yeah.
right?
But I think we can say that if you're a person that likes Call of Duty or things like that, this might not be the game for you.
Isn't for you.
And we can say that the next Divinity Original Sin looked... I have looked afar. I've looked quite a bit into it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's the Original Sin, just the original formula that worked.
Yeah.
With more and more
With
great things.
Yeah.
Races and more class opportunities, bigger story, and it
more role playing.
Yeah, and you can actually play 4 players, I think, together in the next Divinity. So 2 on the same console still.
And then 2 on another.
Yeah, and then you can join together. So you can actually be 2 teams playing with or against each other.
Yeah.
Which is a great feature. They had an example about a racist guard that wouldn't let one of the dwarven players into a city. So he had to sneak through the sewers and were told in the sewers to assassinate one of his teammates.
Yeah.
And that's actually a mission you can take in the next Divinity. I didn't hear what they were saying, so I'm not quite sure what to do with this
that's
story.
fine, quite fine because I didn't hear what you were saying. Something is happening beneath this church.
Yeah?
A sacrifice, a blood sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Blood.
I don't know how to get down there. There's a talk to the fucking rat.
Oh, I can. I have a.
You have a feature.
Perhaps you should actually open up the. I don't know. You can actually look a
Okay.
bit of the abilities and the talents and
This
such.
is one of the big like RPG elements of the game. You have your own character like sight, where you can choose your attributes. You get attribute points for I think almost every time you level up.
Yeah, it's a bit different actually. Sometimes
it changes from level to level, but then you get either attributes, abilities, or talents. Attributes is like what do you call it? Like main
stats.
And as you get an attribute point, you can of course raise whatever you want. There are certain things that works for certain classes, and you can also get attributes from. You can see at the bottom in blue it says from gear, which means that one of the things I have on gives me 1 point in dexterity, and I
you have 4 pieces of equipment.
Abilities is then more details. You can choose abilities in either weapons, defense, skills, personality, craftsmanship, nasty deeds. Lux likes this one, which is the basic rogue kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a weird character, a magey rogue type thing,
Yeah.
and that's the sort of thing I like.
Yeah. So you're good at pickpocketing and good at sneaking, and of course, the higher these things are, the more things you can lockpick, slash, sneak through, slash, pickpocket. Then there's personality, which is I haven't really found it that useful. It's when you talk to an AI, they can kind of
Disagree with you.
and then you have 3 choices. You can either charm them, you can intimidate them, or you can be
Reason with them.
be realistic with them. And I don't know if it can happen, but almost every time we've tried it, it ends in like a rock paper scissors.
It's always rock paper scissors. The
Feature.
difference is if you have a high charisma,
Yeah.
you gain more points each time you win in rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
You need to get 10 points, or if you have 5 charisma, you get 5 points.
for every win.
Yeah. So if you have a higher charisma, it's easier to win in a discussion or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And you can actually get in a disagreement with your teammates.
Yeah. Which then will have you two playing rock paper scissors against each other, which just seems kind of stupid.
Yeah, but I think it's actually quite
It's a fun way of doing it.
yeah, and it's how would you solve that kind of thing when you're designing the game? I think it's actually quite a simple solution that
Yeah.
works quite okay.
Yeah.
Actually, just to talk about one of the most interesting things in this game is
Yeah.
the trade system, I think. The
Yeah.
trade system is when your character makes a choice, like I think when we first got to the city, a man was about to steal a fish. And you could call the guard, or you could let him steal the fish.
Yeah.
And you can choose either. But when you do, you get a point in, I think it was compassionate or heartless,
Yeah.
depending on your choice.
I mean, basically, you have these bars out here in the left, which are kind of ultimatums.
Yeah.
So you have like what's it called? Acronyms. antonyms, like the opposites of each other. For example, independent and obedient. That has probably you can see I'm independent.
Yeah, but you have actually been obedient one
at
time.
some point.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's if either is you can see you're fully obedient, you're fully independent. So at some point I've been obedient. I've
followed some rules or taken a command.
Or maybe just like agreed with you and said, all right, we'll do your thing.
Yeah. I think this is kind of a great system because it actually makes you want to play the character you're playing because of the bonuses.
Yeah.
For example, I have the heartless traits which makes me better at backstabbing.
Me too.
So that's a bit weird then.
I feel like I've been quite compassionate for people.
But that actually makes me want to play the heartless character.
Yeah.
Because I get the bonus of it. It's also very important to say that if you have taken, like, let's say, an independent... No, that's a bad example.
You get traits either way.
Yeah, but in pragmatic and romantic, a good example would be, you can see that I have trait score 3 in pragmatic and 4 in romantic. If I get 4 in pragmatic, I don't get any bonuses, because my character is conflicted.
Yeah, as I am in bold and cautious.
Yeah,
sometimes I'm bold, sometimes I'm pussy.
And you don't get a bonus from either of them. And that's actually quite interesting. That you're, what do you call it, you're inspired to play your character, so you get those bonuses.
Yeah.
Could you just stay with me so we can teleport?
Where are we going?
Hunter's Edge.
Why?
Because I don't know what to do here, so let's do something we perhaps know what to do.
Oh shit, this fucking house, man.
Yeah, it's not good. This is the wizard's house, filled with all sorts of traps.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually didn't quite finish, and then we got to the abilities. There's skills, defense, weapons, kind of speaks for itself. You get better and stuff. Then there's talents, which are basically like buffs, I would say.
Yeah. But some of them are very interesting.
Some of them are very interesting and very cool.
There's the zombie one. That's a rather interesting one, actually. You don't have it. You can just go and check it out. It's quite cool.
The zombie lets you heal from poison, but causes damage from regular healing.
That completely turns around your gameplay.
Yeah, turns upside down.
Yeah, and that's rather interesting.
Yeah. These are also kind of talents you get throughout leveling. And then you can see, I didn't know if you see it, but there's a lot of red, which are talents I'm not able to take because there are certain abilities I need to acquire to get these talents. So, I mean, that's another way of making your character in combat very unique, is that there's, I think, I'm not far off when I say like 50 or, maybe not, 40 or 50 different talents, which also makes you unique from others. I mean, which is what I really like about RPGs, is that you get to be your own character.
You really wanted a ranger dude, and I really wanted the guy who is stealthy but still a mage.
Yeah, the guy who can basically fucking bail whenever he fucking wants to.
Yeah, I like those guys.
Yeah, fucking cow.
Final words, just do you think people should get this game? And do you think it was? I know we got it discounted, but did you think it was the right thing that we got this game?
I think, in terms of your first question, should people buy them? It depends very much on the gaming person they are.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier.
You have to be stubborn and want to finish things. Otherwise, this is not gonna work for you. I mean, it is a hard game in that sense. Not so much in the combat maybe, but in the sense that there's a lot of mysteries to solve and you don't really get any help solving.
You get a bit of help, but it's not much.
Yeah, but it's really not much. I mean, we've I think you said we played 50 or 60 hours. I think maybe 5 to 10 of those have been just standing around.
Kind of like we're doing now.
Yeah, like what the fuck do we do? I mean, if you feel like it's something for you, get a mate to sit down and play with you. Because I could imagine it being quite dull alone.
Yeah, I actually think that's a great point. I don't think I would have played this game as much if it had been alone.
No.
I think this is one of the greatest RPGs I've played ever, actually.
Yeah.
Like I said, it really has. If someone has ever played Baldur's Gate back in the day, it's quite like Baldur's Gate. and it's really the game where you can do quite a lot of things that you do if you play D&D. It really reminds me of tabletop role-playing.
Yeah. You can do basically whatever you want.
Yeah, and that's rather interesting, and also it's very hard to make a game where there's so much choice.
Yeah. Was it worth it?
Yeah, was it worth it?
It was. It has been.
Yeah.
I mean,
You had a period of time where you didn't even want to play it again.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was like a few months ago we played this game a lot, and we went into a lot of combat, which I thought was very, very boring. And that kind of turned me off to it, because I thought the only real problem I have with this is the fighting, the turn-based fighting.
It gets dull.
It gets dull, and it gets repetitive, and you take forever doing your thing, so it's just...
I have a lot of options!
Yeah, but it's just... It takes a lot of time, and that kind of turned me off. So I definitely think it's worth the 20-25 bucks you spend on it.
At that point.
Yeah. But it was on sale.
It was on sale. I guess that's it. That's it.
Can you smell laundry detergent?
I can.
Can you do that? I mean, it's presumably someone washing their clothes beneath us.
Yeah, I've never experienced this before.
Haven't you?
No.
That's kind of sick. You get like free deodorant for your room.
So I guess we're signing off.
We're signing off. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, and it's good to be back.
It's good to be back, and we hope you liked it, and show it by giving us a like, perhaps a comment.
Yeah, something like that. Feedback is always good.
Feedback is always well received.
It is.
So yeah.
I guess that's it.
Bye.
Goodbye.